Good evening, everyone, and welcome once again to the place to be on a Sunday night. Where tonight we're coming to you for round 7 of Sunday Night Lights at Donington, where I'm your host, Alex McKellar, and joining me once again, as always, is the chaotic one himself, Mr. Corey Steinhauser. Corey, big night of racing ahead tonight.
Yeah, that's right, Alex. We have a huge field of cars assembled here, 18, and with a fairly decent strength of field too, and a 43.79. These boys are out here to play, and we're going to be seeing some close and intense racing, especially the two big drafty straights that complete this lap.
Yeah, some good action expected of this. This is a great skippy track, if I'm honest. There's some good racing here. You get into fifth gear just if you're doing it right in a couple of places. Of course, the back straight Starkies, I should say. I always get that mixed up. You see it there, but and maybe a little bit out the back. But otherwise, it's kind of a track that's really well suited for some close racing and a lot of action.
Yeah, that's right, Alex, and I'm not sure if maybe my audio going to right or not, but apparently I'm sounding a little bit robotic. So I'm just going to throw it back to you and see if we can get that sorted.
Righto. How's that, folks? Any better now? Hopefully it's a bit better, and we'll see how we go. Just reset the audio in the midst there, and there you go. Overlay is new as well. That's right. We're having a bit of a play around tonight to see what we can do with this new one. Hopefully the audio's okay, folks, and Corey. Hopefully that's the biggest of our problems tonight anyway.
Well, we can only hope, but we are starting to get lap times in, as everyone can see it on the screen. Big surprise there, Ben Tuck at the moment taking the pole with a 17.958, and Manuel Big Brace Lugetta sitting there in P2 at the moment, which is not a bad time. I can see Benny Simonson is on the track. I'm not sure if he got his first lap in or not, Alex, but I don't see a time there yet for him.
Yeah, no, he started pretty late from what I could tell. He tends to wait for a little bit, I should say, and then ultimately gets in and has a crack as Tuck goes again to the top of the timing board there with a 17.7, which is pretty good in quality, it has to be said. Cat now coming across the line, but he's bumped up to second spot, which is great. Perez now in third, dropping down to fourth after Vico has tucked in behind Luqueta now, crossing the line. He's up to, where did he get to? P5, but Simpson, of course, will be the one to watch as he's on his outlap still with just under half a quality to go, Corey.
Yeah, it's definitely a strategy that didn't work out too well for him in the warm-up lap. We see him come across the line this time, and he's gone up to the top with his first lap, a 17.609. That is quick for a first lap time, Alex.
Yeah, that's crazy fast for a first lap time, Corey, and really showing what it's done, a full tenth and a half quicker than anybody else. Ben Tuck's done 2. The only person left, I'll tell you what, he's the only one out there who's coming around on his second lap, I think. Oh, no, I think Cat might be out there doing the right thing and getting in his second lap. What sort of time's he going to set as he crosses the line just about now? Does not improve. 3 1,000s. 3 100s behind. Tuck there, Cat and P3, as we round out Simonson now. Luke Whitten with a purple sector time down in P9. Great to see Luke back in the car. Be interesting to see how he goes tonight after quite a decent hiatus, Corey.
Yeah, indeed, but he shows no sign of racing rust, Alex, being right up towards the front of the field in the warm-up race. So pace is looking good as Simonson and the 6 of completed his second lap. And it's time to get the grid results, Alex.
Yeah, it looks like it is. Let's go through our grid now. Apologies for the sound troubles, folks, as we come to you for Donington Park Round 7 of Sunday Night Lights. Benny Simonson once again taking pole as he has done pretty much throughout the season. Ben Tuck for UK&I in P2 tonight. Anthony Catt for UK&I similarly rounding out the top 3 spots for the UK&I boys. Alexis Vico from Iberia in P4 off the grid. Christian Perez similarly from across Simart Competition. He's out of P5. Manu Luqueta for Thrustmaster Mivano. He's out of P6. Francesco Lubinu. Sorry, Francesco. He's out of P7. Enzo Canto also for Thrustmaster Mivano out of P8. Luke Whitten for Team Milo. Welcome back to the series. Luke out of P9. Martin Booker for UK&I out of P10. Brett McBurney and another ANZ driver out of P11. Got some pace around here. Does Brett. Cristobal Otero from across Simart Competition out of P12 as we go the page now. We've got Francesco again apparently, or is that his brother? Maybe he's not doubling up. There's 2 Lubinos through there maybe. Anyway, no, it's just the way the overlays are working. I'm confusing myself apparently. We've got Mateu Leslie out of P13. Hawken Grebstead for Team Ovaltine out of 14th. Matsusinski out of 15th. Clark for Team Milo out of 16th. Anderson, UK&I out of 17th. Thomas Torp. And we're away. Oh, gee, things are going great with this new overlay, Corey, so far. Anyway, we'll get underway here, folks, as they all head down to turn 1, and hopefully something goes right tonight. Tell you what, the best laid plans of mice and men, as they say, as this big bumper crop of 18 cars heads down the hill for the first time on the run to the old hairpin. 2 by 2 in some places. Can they get it sorted by the time they get through the old hairpin, Corey?
Well, that's what we have to wait to see. As I can see one car around, and it is the 9 of McBurney. Looked like he got a tap from behind. I'm not sure who's tapped him there, but it has all gone wrong early for the driver of the number 9 car.
Yeah, McBurney down to the rear of the field will have his work cut out for him in this kind of field. But yeah, look, there's already a bit of a gap breaking up the front with Tuck and Simonson. They're going great guns. Hawken Grebstead down at P12, perhaps getting caught a little bit on the hop from that McBurney incident. And you can see a big swathe of skippies coming down into that final chicane at Roberts. This time round, led by Simonson and Tuck out the front. But you can throw a hanky over the first, I don't know, actually it's all the way down to Thomas Torp in P16. Look at them all stringing down, trying to get it done. And these guys ready to put on a good show as we start lap 2, Corey.
Yeah, that's right, Alex, and they're paying no quarters. Everyone racing very hard here in the early stages, trying to battle for whatever track position they can get. There's only a couple of genuinely good overtaking opportunities here at this track, and most of them end up being at the final chicane there, leading onto the main straight. It's a very Canada-style chicane, as I can see Matthew Leslie going off the track at the old hairpin. But it's definitely one of the hardest chicanes to try and navigate, 'cause it's just that little bit tighter than the chicane at the Circuit Gilles Villeneuve.
Yeah, and I'm going to try our replay functionality. Oh, actually, no, I'm not. I'm going to stick here with the leaders because they're getting very busy indeed, as we see Simpson tucking behind Tuck, if you'll pardon the pun. Simpson taking a somewhat defensive line into the chicane now. Oh, I tell you what, who's that Luqueta trying to make himself known there into P4? He's getting it done, and this is a long string of cars all the way down to P11. Hook Grebstead now catching on. We've lost Clark, have we? Yes, we have. Let's go and grab a replay into the final chicane if we can. He's just lost it on the exit by the looks of it. Unfortunate for Russell there, he was going okay too. That's a big shame for the team Milo boss man. As we jump back up front, we've still got Simonson out in front now with Tuck and Cat, the UK&I boys, showing how it's done tonight so far.
As they have done for a little bit here, Alex, these UK&I boys have definitely been dominating. And with this being a home track for them, it's not a surprise to see them right up the pointy end, wanting to show that they are the ones who want to take away the win here. But you can never discount someone like Manuel Ujeta, who is just sitting there in fourth, and we know that he's hungry as we just lost another one. And I'm trying to look for a name slipping down the field, and I just can't quite grasp who it is, Alex.
Labino just lost it on the exit of McLean's there, unfortunately, as we jump back up front. Still got this massive pack of, what are we down to now, 8 cars? Oh, it looks bigger than that, doesn't it? But no, P9's Grebstad, he's about 1.3 seconds off the back. But these guys really showing how it's done around here. Big pack racing here as we see now. Simonson move to the outside of the track. Oh, there's contact. Lucetta and Simonson come together. Lucetta keeps driving. Simonson drops back. 3 wide they go. Lucetta contact again. Moving to the outside of the track. Does he manage to get back on? He does. I tell you what, there's some elbows out racing in the early stages here. Corey's again 2x2 down to the old hairpin once again.
That's exactly right, Alex. And we said in the warm-up race, 3 wide does not usually go there. Somehow all of these drivers managed to pull that off. Got one right out in the grass and getting sideways. Oh, that was crazy. I'm pretty sure that was Christian Perez there, who was doing a little bit of dirt tracking, and now he's getting hounded by Hawkon for that 8th position. But these guys are still continuing to go, and it's crazy that they're racing this hard this early, Alex, but I love it.
Lucetta once again. No, it's Cantor this time, is it? No, it's Lucetta again, I think, up the inside, out the back of Coppice there as they head down the Starkey straight once again. As you said, there's not many overtaking places here on this track, but these guys are certainly finding some new ones and creating some of their own at the same time. They're getting it done, though, and they're putting on a good show for the folks at home, even if the sound's a bit booked. But now we've got a front pack of about 9 cars again, with Christian Perez tucked on the back. As you see, almost 3 once again. It's 2x2 this time round as Tuck holds off Simonson. And Simonson, after dropping a few positions, managed to fight his way back into P3 already that time round. 2x2, Tuck and Cat go down the hill on the run to the old hairpin once again. Will they go 2x2 through the old hairpin? That's the question. What's Simonson going to do? He's going to poke the nose. Oh, I tell you what, that was almost 3 wide through the hairpin. They've done brilliantly well as we see Cantor now coming up behind Vico, trying to get in amongst it as well, just ahead of his teammate Lucetta. And 2x2 out the back through McLean's this time round. How these blokes are going to go 2x2 as many corners as they can. Maybe that was the challenge for the night coming in, Corey.
It very well might have been, Alex, and everyone's treating it like it's a 5-lap race, and that has definitely raised the intensity. And also, just quietly out the back of this pack, just a couple seconds off it, is Luke Whitten in the team Milo car. And the more that these guys are battling at the front as we have drama.
Oh, major.
Oh, that is not good. That looked like Enzo Cantor. And I don't know who the other one is.
Vico, I think let's go back and have a look as we come down here. No, I want Vico, please. And it's just, yeah, look, it's Cantor into the rear of Vico. That's turned him into the back of Simonson. And Cantor's run wide. Lucetta's got through. Grebstad, Booker, they've all managed to get through. But unfortunately, it's checked up and it looks like it might have caught Cantor out. And that's unfortunate there for Vico at the same time. But meanwhile, we'll get back to live pictures as the front pack somewhat decimated, but not entirely. We've still got 8 down to Booker in the front pack. There's all still within draft, all in with a chance of condensing back up and making the final. Look at that long string of skippies we got going there. Any one of these blokes will be thinking they can still win it from here, Corey.
Well, that's exactly right, Alex. I mean, it just takes one small mistake for everything to go wrong. And as I was just saying before, everything kicked off then. Luke Whitten was 2 seconds behind this pack when I started talking. And after that drama happened at the very front of it, he's now right on the tail of Hawkon Grebstad there in the 7th position. So, you know, one small mistake and it could be like putting Powerball on Thursday night. And these guys are definitely playing a very risky game at the moment.
Yeah, absolutely. You see Whitten now tucked in behind. He's going to poke the nose up the inside, is he, of Grebstad? No, he's not. He's going to tuck in behind. The Ovaltine Milo rivalry continues. They are, what are they, about 1.5 seconds? No, Lucetta, he's about 1.5 seconds up the road, I think. Yes, he is. So they might be struggling to hold on. So we might be down to a top 5 at this stage. with Cat and Tuck trying to get away from Simonson. Simonson all over. I imagine the UK&I clubman would have done a few laps here in real life, so he'd know his way around for sure. But these boys certainly are showing the homegrown advantage. Christian Perez, he's a dark horse in this one. Very quick guy in the skip, that's for sure. Smart racer as well, as he's shown in previous weeks' events throughout the season. As we see this time round, Tuck goes by Cat in a more traditional manoeuvre into that final chicane, Corey. Hopefully that we see a bit more of that with some action sprinkled in to keep it interesting as they go 2 wide into the first corner again. 3 wide, Simonson takes a shortcut into the apex. Oh, I tell you what, Tuck did pretty well there to keep behind him there. Simonson's going to try and get 2 for 1 down the hill into the old hairpin, is he? Down through Hollywood this time round, and he's stuck. He's decided discretion's a better part of valour on that time round, as Perez also took advantage through turn 1 and got the job done that time round. So head back up the hill out the back, Corey.
And all 4 of our leaders just taking it to the grass there, coming out of the old hairpin. These guys are still turning up. You were talking about them making one traditional move, and then they went and spoiled it by doing 3 wide on you going into turn 1. But these 5 at the front are definitely racing very hard. You see the 3 guys behind them, Orcon, Luke and Martin Booker. They're all just sitting there single file. They're not battling at the moment. They're playing a little bit of a smarter game here, because the more that these guys battle at the front, the more chance they will be able to catch up. We'll have to wait and see how it will unfold and whether these guys at the front will keep battling the way they have been. There's no move going into the final hairpin this time from Simonson, but we can't discount the fact of he might still pull a crazy move at some point within this lap, Alex.
Absolutely. See Cantor starting to pull his way out of the pits in the background there, 2 by 2, and it's this time round, it's Tuck taking the shortcut up the inside of the Thrustmaster Movano driver of Lucetta to grab back P3, and still tucked in behind is Christian Perez. He's just waiting his time, biding his time, I should say, at the back, as in the preceding or the following pack now, you got Team Milo ahead of Ovaltine with Martin Booker, the UK&I driver. He's tucked in behind, seeing what happens of the chocolate flavoured drink battle this week, as we see back up the front now. Oh, there we go. Lucetta pokes the nose up the inside of McLean's. It's a legit option there, and the question is, can he get it done through the double right-hander at Coppice? Oh, the rear of the car struggling to maintain grip, but he looks like him. Oh, coming up the inside will be Perez. I said he's going to make it 3 wide into the chicane, I think, this time round, Corey. Oh, I tell you what, you can only just fit 3 skippies out there into the braking zone. Lucetta decides discretion is a better part of that. I'll tell you what, smart racing there from those 3 between Perez, Tuck and Lucetta. They got through there. I guess the only challenge with that would be, from a race IQ perspective, would be the fact they're letting the front 3 get away. Or the front 2, I should say. Perez now 1.1 seconds behind Simonson, who's tucked in behind Cat, really looking to get away with it. As the lap times start to tumble as well. We're down into the 16 highs. Amazing to see these guys getting around here so quickly, Corey.
Yeah, that's right, Alex. And these guys, as I said, they've just been turning up the heat a little bit each and every single lap. Everyone playing with the exit curb there, coming out of the old hairpin. And it's just absolutely crazy, the action that we're seeing here so far. And we got 3 different leading groups here. Got the 2 leaders of Cat and Simpson, and they're still just pulling away. They've been racing very smart, where these 3 behind them have just been battling and battling and battling. As we see one of them going off, pretty sure that's Christian Perez in the 4 car, going right off, coming out of that right-hander onto the back straight here. And I think he might have some kind of phantom damage, because that thing looked very unsettled when he came back on the track, Alex.
I'll tell you what, he's taken the wide line through Coppice that time round. Come back on fairly cleanly. Hasn't cost him too much time, I don't think, but I think he's now, is he just out of draft range? No, he's still in draft range. These guys, though, now they're dropping behind. They're nearly 2 seconds behind our race leaders in Cat and Simonson, who look to be off to the races, so to speak. Off to the races, so to speak. And Unfortunately, we're left with a few battle packs. And yes, we know we're having trouble with the audio. Unfortunately, Windows doesn't like us tonight. So apologies for that, folks. And hopefully we'll have it rectified at some stage. But for tonight, the racing will have to do the talking, won't it, Corey?
Well, that's exactly right, Alex. And even though people might not be able to hear me so clearly, at least the racing action that we've been seeing on our screens has been speaking the volumes that we are trying to convey to everyone watching. But at the moment, things just seem to have settled down in these front three packs, so I'm just going to take a quick little squiz back at the fourth pack we got going on here. We've got the 6, the 3, the 5, and the 10 of Enzo here in this fourth little pack. So we've got Lee Anderson, Matuczynski, and Cristobal Alterio sitting here in this fourth little pack, and they've just been very quiet. Although in saying that, you can see Alterio just doing a little bit of tire warming there in the background behind Anderson and Matuczynski there, Alex.
Yeah, just getting in amongst it. These boys keeping busy. A bit further down the order, of course, but nonetheless keeping in it. As is Brett McBurney. We saw him go off pretty early, but he's managed to fight his way back into the Sunday Night Lights points. Sitting there with Cristobal Otero just in front of him, chasing down the tail end of that pack you were just talking about with Matuszynski on the front there. But meanwhile, back up in front, we've got Cat and Simonson running away with it. The secondary pack really fighting for the minor spots on the podium. You've got Lucetta and tucked in behind him. Bit of tautology there for you folks. Christian Perez, after that excursion on the outside of Coppice, he's dropped off a little bit. And then we're back to the Battle of the Chocolate Milk Drinks tonight. Ovaltine leading this one out with Booker looking to go up the inside once again. A pretty traditional move there through the final chicane, although he runs wide, and that'll leave Grebstad fuming because they won't have got the run that they needed. Certainly not going to catch the guys in front doing that. Or having said that, we've got about 6 laps to go, and they do 3 wide this time through, will they? And it's Grebstad going around the outside this time with Booker forcing Witten to take the very wide line on the grass there. That time still 3 wide on the run down to the hill. The Witten pulls in behind. We've got Booker and Grebstad now. What are they going to do through here? Down through the old hairpin. They've managed to get it sorted. But I tell you what, that's not the quickest way around here, Corey.
No, it's not. And they're going to start falling into the clutches of that fourth pack if they keep racing like this. But Booker looked like he just carried way too much speed going into that chicane. I'm actually surprised he was able to make both apexes before shooting himself off into the outside of the final corner there. But Hawkon, cool, calm and collected, just stayed there in his position and just waited for Booker to make his mistake and just drove back around him on the outside like the seasoned quote-unquote professional that he can be sometimes, Alex.
As we see Witten showing the nose up the final chicane that time round, just disrupting Booker's line somewhat. As we jump back up front, we've got Simonson on the tail end of Cat once again. Oh, we've lost McBurney. He's had a couple of seconds off in the background as well. Ben Tuck now leading that second pack of Lucetta and Perez. Perez looks like he might just have managed to get back on. Yeah, just half second off the back, and he'll play a part in the closing stages in that pack as well. As we jump back to our chocolate drink battle again. Great to see Witten in this kind of race and performing. And away we go out of the old hairpin once again. These boys really giving it all they got. And I tell you what, these front two, they have really just driven away, Corey. They're out by some 3 seconds now, showing the others how it's done.
Yeah, and I expect nothing less from Anthony Cat and Benny Simonson, to be honest. I mean, they're two of the class acts of the field. I mean, they're not pumping in fastest laps every single lap, but they're both very smart drivers. And you can see that right now evolving on the screen. They're not battling at all. They're going to say that for the last couple of laps. And ever since that second little group that was within this front group started battling, they just kept pulling away and extending the gap to them. And with 5 to go, Alex, Simonson could be just quite content to sit here in second, but I don't believe so, as Cat got off onto the grass. And here comes Simonson now to make his move. stayed onto the inside, and he makes the move very easy. I think Cat might have allowed him to finish off that maneuver there, Alex.
Yeah, there's still a few laps to go here, about a balance of 4 laps at the end of this one. And no point in throwing your race away at this time, particularly when you've got a 3.5 second lead over a very racy pack behind Lucetta and Perez this time round. Good mates, these two. Looks like he's going to chuck it up the inside at McLean's and almost get it done, was Perez that time round. But is he gonna finish it side by side? They go again. The two good mates, one from the Iberian club, one from Italian club, and they're going to go 2 by 2 nearly the whole way around the circuit as they approach the final chicane at Roberts now. What are they going to do? Who's going to back out? Neither are going to back out. That's the answer. Oh, Lucetta just lifts enough. He rides the inner curb on the left-hand one. That's the nasty one of the two, but seems to get away with it. And I tell you what, the boys are putting on a show now.
Well, that's right, Alex. With 5 to go, that's when the gloves usually start coming off, and we're starting to see that happen already. If the gloves weren't off already, that is. But at the moment, these second pack, Perez is just, Tuck, my apologies, is starting to just pull away ever so slightly from these two behind. There's only a small little air gap, but if these two keep battling their way, they are, as they just about go too wide into the old hairpin. Perez out into the grass, manages to hold on to it this time. We can see Tuck possibly pull away from these guys, Alex.
Yeah, absolutely. I'll tell you what, and I'm just going to pull up the incident count here. There's a couple in danger there. Grebstad and Perez sitting on 10 and 12 respectively. We've seen Perez have a few excursions here tonight, but I'll tell you what, he'd want to be careful or he'll find himself watching from the stands as Mr. Cantor, who seems to be retired at this stage. He's certainly doing that. Jumping back up the front, we've got Simonson now leading it out with now just the 4 laps to go as they cross the line, or 3 laps to go as they cross the line this time round. Line astern they go. The secondary pack now, they've got it sorted well enough as well. Although 2 by 2 up the inside goes the 4 car of the foot of Christian Perez this time. Can he hold on to it going through there? I think he can. And then we've got, they've got to go side by side down the hill. This time round, Perez and Tuck. What are they going to do? You got Lucetta poking the nose wherever he can. He's going to try and make it 3 wide, is he? Yes, he is. Oh, he's going to go up the inside. And it's Tuck who lifts out. Oh, Perez, he's grabbed another one. He's up to 13x. He's got 1 car contact and he's gone. Lucetta running up the outside, up the hill now. Up through the crane of curves. Oh, I beg your pardon. Up into McLean's now. I'll tell you what, he's playing with fire, his young Christian Perez on 13x, Corey.
Indeed he is, Alex, and it's getting towards being a very dangerous area. I mean, if he gets a car contact at the moment right now, then he could see himself finding the early way to the stands, which is going to be very close here, as Lucetta trying to come up the inside, got forced onto the grass, makes the move work. Oh, a little bit sideways there for Perez coming out of the final corner. As I said, the gloves are off, Alex, and with 2 to go, these guys are just going to be turning up the heat even more as now Tuck looking to the inside of Lucetta, coming into the first corner. Lucetta lets the move work and then comes with the cutback to try and over-under. He's on the grass a little bit there. You can see the dirt getting kicked up as he was hitting it hard, Alex. These guys are starting to race it very hard. Absolutely.
Lucetta holding on now through the old hairpin this time round. Cuts a nice bit. Oh, I tell you what, cuts a nice bit of that apex, but Perez now on 14x. Oh, I tell you what, he will be on a knife's edge for the balance of this race as Cat and Simonson are just driving away with it. Oh, I tell you what, he's got it done there all right now. Cat and Simonson, they got coming up to the white flag. You've got Cat leading it out, Simonson tucked in behind him. They're going to go line astern and leave the moves to the last lap by the looks. As we duck in behind now, we've got Lucetta leading Tuck and Perez. They also are going line astern through that final chicane, although Perez seemed to get a move done there through that final chicane. Just a classic kind of move. Meanwhile, the Battle of the Chocolate Milk Drinks has got some company. Grebstad's cleared out a little bit. He's about 1.5 seconds ahead. As we see that battle pack in front there. We've got the 4 car of Perez losing out to the 14 of Ben Tuck there. Meanwhile, Luqueta is trying to drive away from these two, and these two might do themselves out of a chance with that final step of the party. Oh!
We're side by side for the lead right now. We've been side by side for half a lap. Stevenson was on the outside.
Oh, they're gone. They're gone. Perez is gone. He's on 15X. I'll tell you what, he'll be lucky to finish this. Meanwhile, back up the front. And sorry, Corey, go ahead.
Back up the front, it's still a epic titanic battle here between the 2 cars. Cat now going up to the inside, coming onto the final straight before we get to the pit straight. This is going to be Simpson's last opportunity to try and effect a move to try and take away the win. Cat going very defensive there on the inside line. It's going to force Simpson to go around the outside, and there he goes, side by side, coming into the final chicane on the final lap. And wow, how could they hold on to that? Simpson edges him out, gets in front, and he's going to take home the win here tonight, Alex.
Great job. Luqueta's now come through in P3. Ben Tuck. Oh, I don't know what's happened to Ben on the exit, but it's going to be Grebstad coming through and grabbing P4 from Tuck, Anderson. Oh, I'll tell you what, there's been a few things going on in the background of that one as the remainder of the field comes across. Once again, folks, sorry for the audio. I'll just reset it once again. See if that might help us, but hopefully, no, that's about it. All right, let's go through our race results here. For round 7 at Donington Park, season 20 of Sunday Night Lights, Benny Simonson taking a great victory there and a solid battle with Anthony Catt throughout. Once they cleared out, they were never headed for P1 and 2 respectively. Manu Luqueta for Thrustmaster Mivano, he's hung on for P3 in that tight battle with Tuck and Perez. Grebstad doing the proverbial Stephen Bradbury to grab P4 at the end from Ben Tuck from UK and I coming home in P5. Of course, Grebstad representing Team Ovaltine. P6 tonight went to Lee Anderson from UK and I. 7th to Martin Booker, also from UK and I. Team Milo's Luke Whitten, the leading ANZ driver in P8. Christian Perez managing to finish. He got around there with his 15 incident points. And the across Simart competition driver finishing in P9th. Brett McBurney, after starting the first lap or the first stages of the first lap with a big moment all the way back to the back of the field, and he's up to P10. That's a great drive for the ANZ driver. P11 tonight went to Francesco Lubino, I'm going to go with, from Italy, in his maiden event here on a Sunday night. P12 to Cristobal Otero from across Simart Competition. Rounding out your Sunday Night Lights points, Thomas Torp joining us once again for P13. George Matsuchinski, I think it's his second race with us here tonight, and he's grabbed P14. Team Milo Bossman, Russell Clark down in 15th. Mathieu Leslie, he's down in P16. Alexis Vico from Iberia, he's down in P17. And Thrustmaster Mivano Racing's Enzo Cantor, 6 laps down after retiring midway through the race. Now, we are going to... Yeah, I know it's a Swedish flag. Unfortunately, the flags in here have not quite taken the mark 100%. But let us see what we can do here. If we can't grab an interview. Whoop, wrong one. There. We'll go back to the start here. See if we can't grab a camera angle and a bit of slow-mo and the driver here. And we'll bring up Mr. Simonson to say g'day. G'day. Benny Simonson taking out another Sunday Night Lights pole and a hard-fought victory here tonight, mate. How was the racing out there?
Tough. Yeah, I think everybody was pretty fired up really today, weren't they? So, but yeah, great race. Yeah, I thought I could see a few of them were quite racy. So as soon as I tucked in behind Anthony, I was like, maybe just sit here for a little bit and see if we can gap and stay out of trouble. So
Yeah, absolutely. Well, the smart choice as it turned out. Beautiful move into the final chicane to get it done on that last lap. Perhaps one that Anthony would have been expecting, but nonetheless hard to deny when you were in fact you're probably 7/8 of the way past on the way in, and it's a brave man that breaks deep on that narrow line and expects to survive. So classic manoeuvre around the outside there with a good run. But yeah, it certainly seemed a bit busy there in the early stages. We had about 9 or 10 deep in those early stages, and you dropped back at least once and managed to fight your way back through.
Yeah, uh, believe it or not, I actually walked across the keyboard and pressed I think is it I or something in my engine turned off for like
No.
for like 5 seconds. I was panicking a bit. I don't know if somebody actually tapped me as well. Yeah, and then try and make way back. But yeah, I was quite surprised by Anthony actually giving me the room on the last corner. I actually thought it was his line, and as soon as we came onto the back straight, I was like, "Oh, he's got this." And then I think he was a bit too nice to me on that last weekend. I think he could have been a bit more harsh with his line, but yeah.
Got to take them when you get them, Betty. That's the way to do it. Well, mate, another pole position, another victory here tonight. Certainly augurs well for the overall season and for Sunday Night Lights. So congratulations on another win. Is there anyone you'd like to give a shout out to tonight before we let you go?
No, just you guys again. Thanks for putting on the show. So it's always fun to watch and race. And so yeah, cheers, guys.
Awesome, thanks, Betty. You may not say that after the sound quality this week. Had a few bugs, but that's part of life. But thanks again, Betty, and we'll talk to you soon.
Sorry, I've got to say sorry to Paul for the warm-up race. That's why I came in actually. So yeah, apologies.
Yeah, no stress, mate. I know he took it on the chin, and he'll be back bigger and better next week, as was yourself. And hopefully we'll talk to you again then.
Yeah, ciao, guys.
You go, Corey. Betty Simpson, once again, a pretty famous victory there. He's been dominating this season, hasn't he?
Oh, indeed he has, Alex, but I can't complain about it. I mean, it's almost a little bit like Mercedes this year in the Formula One, but he just seems more genuine than the drivers that Mercedes has. If I don't annoy any of the fans of the Mercedes team too much, but he is just so freakishly quick. He puts it on pole almost every single week, and he can just drive, and he does a smart drive. He can be a quick driver. He can be whatever kind of driver he needs to be for the situation, and it just always seems to come out with him on top, and it's incredible to watch.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, he knows how to steer these things in real life, and of course around here. But we are certainly impressed once again with how he's gone tonight. Once again, though, is it Håkon Grebstad or is it Steve Bradbury? Mate, you snuck fourth there on the line, mate. How did that come about?
Yeah, I definitely wasn't expecting to finish top 5 here. Just not enough practice for me this week, but yeah, in the end, a really good result.
Yeah, he snuck it through after a bit of an upset in the pack in front of you, allowed you to catch up there right at the end, and then of course Tuck didn't have the best run through the chicane there either, and he managed to grab on fourth, taking out not only a top 5, but the Battle of the Chocolate Milk Drinks this week, mate. Well, not a bad return to the series.
No, absolutely not. Much better than expected. And yeah, what a crazy race. Just Donington, man. Just crazy.
Yeah, it seems to be the way around here, mate. But listen, welcome back to the series. Top 5 to boot. A bit of fun, and hopefully we'll see you soon. But anyone you'd like to give a shout out to, mate?
I gotta apologize to the guy I hit on that one. I got super loose coming through turn 2 there. Or is it 3? I'm not sure. Just couldn't get a point straight in time to break, and touched his rear end just slightly, and yeah.
Yeah, mate, I'm sure. I think it was Brett McBurney in the end. He fought back to P10, so frustrating night for him, no doubt. But he certainly made his way back through the field and had a strong finish. So it's good to see Brett back out there on track as well. Well, mate, thanks for joining us once again, and with all things going to plan, we'll see you in the next week or two.
Hopefully. Cheers. Thanks, guys.
There you go, Corey. Hawk and Gribstead once again for Team Ovaltine, even though the flag's wrong. I don't know what's going on there. That's a bit average, as is the sound quality tonight. It's not been great, but anyway, I think we've got one person left in the green room. Prepare yourselves, folks. The sound's buggered, but he's back. It's Mr. Enzo Cantor, Thrustmaster Vivano's own Enzo Cantor. Finished the race in the pits tonight, Enzo. Not what you were setting out to do tonight.
Hi guys. Well, yes, I'm here because I'm very disappointed, but I want to put my face as always in order to explain what happened in this race. I didn't have any time at all during this week to practice because of a lot of work, and I was not able to do the race before the Sunday lights because I was not confident enough. So I was practicing only in practice before this race, and this was the first race of the week for me, the first qualifying of the week for me. So I was surprised that I could be able to stay with the first ones, even if I was not so confident enough. And what happened was that here on a racing with this kind of drivers and difficulty, you cannot do a race without enough practice. So what happened was that Alexis was in front of me. I was on fire because I was recovering positions, but I wasn't able to see in front of him. They were doing it three wide, but I was my eyes were completely covered by the car of by Alexis' car, so I wasn't able to look in front of him. He braked a little bit earlier because of avoid any contacts. I braked almost in the same point of the previous laps, but it was too late and I rear-ended him, and then my car was destroyed and the race was finished. So I'm here to apologize because I had to brake earlier because I could not see what was happening in front of me. So that was enough to brake earlier, and I did not do that. And after that, I towed the car. I returned on the track because I only was to do practice during the race, and I was following Otero, and I did another mistake, killing him and Batsushinsky. So my mistake two times, and I should quit the race after the first contact. And again, and congratulations to Benny and to my teammate Manuel because he did an incredible race.
Yeah, it was certainly a lot of action going on out there tonight, mate. I'm sorry your race didn't go so well, but hopefully we'll see you back next week and a little less stressful time at work or busy time at work and some more track time for you. But until then, mate, is there anyone you'd like to give a shout out to?
Yes, as always, to my team, Trasmaster Mivano, my team manager, Fabio Mantellini, my teammate, Manuel, all the drivers, you for your excellent work as always. I apologize again, and I wish to be here in the next week, but I really sincerely wish to have more time for the race.
Perfect. All right, thanks, Enzo, and we'll look forward to talking to you again soon.
Yeah, thank you. See you soon.
There you go, Corey. I'm glad the action on the track tonight was good because I'm dreading going back and watching this thing and seeing how bad the audio was. Bloody Windows Update, I tell you. Anyway, time to cut the losses, I think. Anyway, Corey, what you got in the week ahead, mate?
Well, just before I get into what I got up to this week, I just want to say a big congratulations for Hawkon. He made 10 positions in that race, which is no mean feat whatsoever. So GG there, Hawkon. But for me, coming up over on my personal channel, Corey has an Life 13, you can find me on Tuesday doing Fastlane Esports Pro Late Model and the 410 Sprint Car Series, the winter series there for Fastlane Esports. There's nothing planned for Wednesday, because Output Racing League is still in its 2-week hiatus, so it'll be back the week after. On Thursday night, we have the ODSE ASE 410 Sprint Cars, which will be a fun affair. And Friday, I've got some AI races that I'm probably going to do Friday morning since there's no NIS. And then Saturday, it is the US ANZ Racing League over on the Aussie Sim Commentator channel, twitch.tv/Aussie_Sim_commentator for round number 8 from the Michigan Speedway, I do believe it is. So that should be an absolutely cracking race as they start getting back to the mile and a half tracks, Alex.
Yeah, absolutely, mate. Well, for me, I'm going to be spending my week fixing the sound, apparently, but otherwise, I think we went okay. But, folks, thank you very much for joining us as you do each and every week. We do appreciate the support, both on track and off. It's great to have everyone in this little broadcast that we do that's for the community, by the community. And until next week, folks, on behalf of the chaotic one himself, Mr. Corey Steinhauser, I've been Alex McKellar. And until next time, ciao for now.